Shalom, shalom, shalom. So, real quick, I had a question arise about why we are tempted to do things against our will, or why do we desire things that are not good for us. And I wanted to address this according to Scripture, so it's just going to be a quick lesson, and follow along if you will. The King James Version of the Bible as a reference. And I just wanted to say first and foremost that we are all flesh. And the flesh is a very weak vessel when it comes to things of the spirit. You have to really be in tune with the spirit of the Most High in order to resist all things of the flesh. Satan, the devil, is a very wise and crafty tempter. And he presents things to us that we desire, and it is up to us to make the conscious decision to accept it or not. So with that being said, let's find out who this Satan is. He wasn't always Satan. Let me say that. He was the light bringer. He was known as Lucifer in the kingdom of heaven. But where he lost that title was when he thought himself to be above God, and therefore was banished and all of his followers to the earth and the world we know today. And he has dominion over this earth. If you look at all the nations that follow him, that five-pointed star, that represents him. And all these flags with that star show who they are under. So let's make that known first and foremost. But we're going to go real quick into Isaiah 14. Just to, give a quick reference to this guy, Lucifer. And we're at Isaiah 14 and 12. And it reads, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground?" As I just mentioned, he was banished from heaven and now dwells in earth, which did weak the nations. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High is who I call him. And once again, he thought highly of himself. He was feeling himself, and he thought himself to be above God. That's where he messed up. So, in our temptations, we must pray for strength. We can't, no matter how holy and sanctified and good of a person you think you are, the devil is very crafty, and it's damn near impossible to resist him. The only way to resist him is to flee from him and to hold on to the word of the Most High as best we can. So we must pray for strength. And we're going to go into Matthew 26. Matthew 26 and verse 41. And it reads, "Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak." So, as I mentioned before, we have to pray in our times of weaknesses, and when we feel something isn't right, or you feel it in your spirit when you know you're doing something that may be pleasing in that moment, but the end result, therefore, is death. Any breaking of the commandments of the law of the Most High is sin. That's what sin is, and that leads to nothing but death. So we have to pray. So let's go to 1 Corinthians 10 and 13, and this mentions temptation. Corinthians 10 and 13. 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. And it reads, There hath no temptation taken you but such as a common to man. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you are able. So, there are times when you will be tested. Your faith will be tested just to see what your decision is going to be in that moment of temptation. But will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that you may be able to bear it. So with that temptation, the Most High is saying, hey, he's going to give you a way to come out of that situation. So, wherefore, my dearly beloved, flee from idolatry. So, idolatry is basically the worship of a thing, anything other than the Most High. The Most High is not an idol. He's a spirit. His spirit is holy. So when you have these idols or these things that appear heavenly, crucifixes, images of Jesus, things of that nature, you're not supposed to be involved in any of that. It's idolatry. So let's go to James 1. And here is going to show you that there is a reward in your resistance. So don't think that, we tend to think we see all this wickedness going on and these people having the time of their lives, living it up, having things that you would desire to have yourself. The Most High says don't desire that. They're going to get their reward. So we're at James 1:12. And it reads, blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Most High hath promised to them that love him. So you're going to receive the reward, which to me, there's nothing on this earth more rewarding than to have eternal salvation in the kingdom of the Most High. Nothing. So when you come into that realization and you realize how serious this walk is, then you tend to think twice about some of the things that you might choose to indulge in. And I was once a sinner. I was a major sinner. I still fight to this day my flesh, not to fall back into the sins that I once were involved in. So let's go to Revelations 3. This will be the last place. The Revelations 3:10. And it reads, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So once again, the reward for resisting temptation is in the Father's heavenly kingdom. There's also reward for not resisting, and that is eternal damnation in the lake of fire, aka hell. So the choice is yours, and it's all up to you. If you choose to follow the truth, or you choose to follow deception, wickedness, the things that are not of the Most High. So with that, I hope you got an understanding of temptation and what it means to accept or resist it. Maki El, Shalom.